Boom. So welcome to our live trading session. It is July 9th, and this is our last session of the week, guys. Last session of the week. As always, these sessions are meant for us to do all the pairs that we're looking at, 10 plus pairs, do the analysis, and just prepare to take trades for today. So we're going to cover potential entries, market structure, and top-down analysis. We're going to run through it all, and we'll get into some patterns too. And pretty much, there's a lot of lessons to be learned from these. Obviously, it's completely free, and this will be uploaded to YouTube afterwards. So that being said, let's just start with USEF. We had a trade that was currently running on this, starting all the way on the daily time frame. Boom. So starting on the daily time frame, we had an obvious downtrend where we were forming some lower highs right here. And how do I denote those? So I see this low was broken, came back. I've got my fibs from my high to my low, came back, retested 100%, came up, retested 88.6, had a cross here, came back up, retested 88.6 again, and then we started to consolidate again a little bit below 88.6. So these are all consecutive lower highs. Our most recent one that had formed was right here, was this level right here. So on this daily time frame, structure is bearish. But we're all the way down here, so we don't need to necessarily worry about this right now. We need to more focus on this area. As I cycle down time frames, on this 4-hour time frame, I was looking at this and I was saying, okay, we have lower lows and lower highs. We had this lower high form, then we had a retest of that lower high. But again, overall, we are very bearish, and we really just need to focus on this area right here. So I had a little trade that went out earlier this week on USEF. Just to go over it real quick, we had this 4-hour engulfing candle right there. This is obviously a continuation. A lot of sellers in the market. Came down to this 30-minute time frame. Now it's like, okay, where do I look for entry? First, you got to understand, where do you identify structure? So for me, structure is these moving averages. So we had red over blue all the way down until this area, shifted back until buyers took control, blue over red all the way up until this was met. And then we basically entered earlier in the week on just this cross the moving averages, a lot of bearish momentum. We had our stops above this level. And then we started to get a little bit of a pullback. We cut our losses right around here. Didn't like this price action because this crossed again, didn't maintain momentum. And then we had our next entry. So entry number one, which is fairly aggressive, was just on all of this bearish movement and this cross, stops above this level. Entry number two was on this candle, cross the moving average, stops right above that level. And then we started to maintain this order. We got to around, let's zoom out a little bit, drag this across, boom. So we got to around 1.77, risk reward. We got to around 1.77. We risked in the signals chat. We risked 2% on this trade, USD CHF. We had the re-entry right here. Boom. So what I talked about, we closed minus 9 pips, and we re-entered with 2% on this order. And we closed right around this level right here. This second push, a lot of times with USEF, it'll do these second pushes and then make this like ultimate pullback. So I just wanted to capture profits sort of at the end of this move, which I did. So we captured around 1.66 with 2%. So we made around 3% on this trade, 3% on this order, which is fairly good. For the FTMO, you need 10%. You made 3% on one trade, which is pretty good. So now, what are we looking for next is we need, in order to enter again, and again, what are our lower time frame targets? Ultimately, I'm targeting this level down here. This is like a 4-hour support level. Boom, that's ultimately what I'm targeting. As we can see how price is forming, we're still below the red over blue. A little bit of a pullback, but not too significant right now. We're looking for something similar to this to happen. We need pullback and then the drop off. Boom. So we're looking for something very similar to that to happen right now. Maybe a retest of this 38.2. fib level before looking for another entry. So I can stay on this 30-minute time frame, where are my next potential entries? If this thing closes below and this crosses, then we can take our next entry. So I'm going to keep us updated as best as I can on this one in the signals chat, and I'm going to drop this in the premium analysis. So that's USEF, kind of the main pair that I'm looking at for today. Let's go over now to UCAD. Let's start all the way up on the monthly time frame. So this monthly candle, our last month's candle, closed with this huge wick right here, obviously blue over red. So this thing is in a bullish market right now. Boom. As we get down to the weekly time frame, obviously bullish. But look at all this bearish momentum here, and then look at this bearish engulfing last week. So I think that we could come down to retest this level down here. Let's continue to break down this on the lower time frame. So on the daily time frame, you're obviously bearish in the sense that we broke support here, pulled back. Now we just made this lower high. If I were to bring on my fibs from my high to my low, I can see that we retested 38.2, solid rejection, and now we are steady in a downtrend on this 1 hour time frame. So we don't want to overcomplicate things. Forget to change your Mac. What does that mean? Oh, charge my Mac. Yeah, let me get my charger in. Boom. Thank you for reminding me. Hell yeah. So let's just take a look at this. Obviously, let's bump back up to the daily. This is an exercise that you guys can run through on your own. Is you can just come here. Where was this? This was at this 38.2 monthly resistance level and this bearish variation. So there's a lot of confirmation here. Tons of confirmation here, guys. So as I go down to the 1 hour, I can take a look at this and I can break it down and say, where would I potentially would have entered? So this is obviously an uptrend. We have higher high, higher low. We have this pullback, higher low, higher high, then this higher low, and then we get a break. We get a break of this, boom. This is the variation or the change. Obviously we broke, I haven't marked up previously. We broke this level all the way up here. Now where do we enter? Always enter on the first lower high, but where is that? So as this comes red over blue, then we have this cross, blue over red, and then we have these bearish variations. I would enter on something like this, stops above this level, up here. But then even so, this pulls back again, and then you could enter on something like this. So potential entries would be here, would be right here on this. And again, stops on this position, like if we enter this, I honestly probably would put stops here and we probably would get stopped out in this huge candle. But then I would probably re-enter, put stops again right above this level right here. And then we're just maintaining this. We're maintaining this. Once I get to 1-to-1, my rule is I always close or I always move my stops to break even. So in this case, we would have been at break even, and then we either would have closed on this double bottom or we would have, held until it came back to zero. So this then retraced all the way back up to this level right here. And let's remember, this was our previous lower high right here. So this was a previous lower high. This is very minor pullback. This is our previous lower high right there. It comes back, retests this all the way up here. Where is our next potential entry on this? It is simply in this area, in these this bearish engulfing, these bearish variations. If we go down to the lower time frame, we had a small transition right here, and I won't go past the 30-minute. I won't go lower than this. So we had this 30-minute higher low form, this break, retest. I would enter right on this entry right there. So UCAD at the moment, let's look at UCAD. Now, what is the next potential move on UCAD? So obviously on this daily time frame, I mentioned that I'm anticipating getting back down to this level. A lot of bearish pressure coming in, a little bit of a head and shoulders pattern here too. And we're pretty much breaking the neckline right now. So what I'm looking for is on this 1 hour time frame. Very simply, I'm looking for my next lower high. So let me go back to this time frame, remove this. Always try to keep your charts as clear as possible, guys. Always try to clear things up and keep them clean. So going back down, boom, to the 1 hour time frame. Boom. So I'll just bring on my fibs. You know, where am I looking for price to come to? I'm looking for price to retest this level right here. And we go over this inside the course. This is just drawing an entry zone, you know, just thinking about where is an area with a lot of liquidity. Where is an area with a lot of liquidity in the market? Or previously, look how price came here, boom, jumped off. Came here, found a lot of buyers. So on the flip side, we could come into this zone, find a lot of orders. I just kind of call these order zones. So ideally, I'm looking for price to come into this area, cross, very similar to this, cross, and then as soon as we get that crossover, that is where we are then looking to take our next short. If this thing just continues to fall from this level, that is completely fine. That just means that we don't have an opportunity to take an order on this trade. So this is UCAD looking for the next lower high in this instance. Again, I'll post this analysis in the premium analysis after this call. So let me just get it in there right now. Boom. So I'll upload that in the premium analysis after the call, and we'll continue to follow that. Let's look at NZD, USD. Let's bump up to the weekly time frame. So obviously on the weekly time frame with NZD, USD, I've been talking about this for quite a while, is this bearish confluence area. We have this weekly trend line, boom. We have this pullback right now into that weekly trend line, and I'm looking for something similar like this to happen. You know, we're above the moving averages, then we dump. We're above the moving averages, then we dump. Could be something similar to this, a lot of consolidation before this happens. But at the moment, on every single time frame with NU, it is bullish. Every single time. So on the daily time frame, it is bullish. You know, on the 4 hour time frame, it is bullish right now. And all the way down to the 1 hour time frame, it is bullish. So with that being said, you know, we can look for buys. We can look for buys ideally into this level at the maximum. As soon as it gets into this level up here, I'm going to be looking for sells, but that's still 100 pips away. That's still 100 pips away. I won't look for sells at the moment until this breaks on the 1 hour. This is just 1 hour structure. Like, let's talk about 1 hour. Where were entry opportunities? We just want to continuously enter at higher lows, guys. So, boom. This was an entry opportunity right there. Then we had this pullback. As soon as this crossed, that was an entry opportunity right there. And then we had this one right here. If we use the replay tool and we go back, because, you know, you got to, when you guys are doing your back tests or when you're looking at how you're going to enter, like, this is realistically what you're going to see in the live trade. You're not going to see the next candle where it goes, you know, in your direction. All you're seeing is momentum through the moving averages and then the cross. Same thing here. Let's look at what you see in the live situation. Like, this isn't even crossing yet, so I wouldn't even potentially take this entry until it really crosses. Then it crosses all the way up here. Then if all of a sudden, if you're entering up there, you got to put your stops all the way below this level. It doesn't, then the trade doesn't make as much sense. So we're going to actually take that entry away. Then let's go to this entry. This entry is really clean. Basically, this is what you would see. You have the momentum through the moving averages. You could wait for the following candle. following candle closes, a lot of exhaustion like that. And if you want to, again, the lowest I'll go down is a 30-minute time frame. What do I see here is I just see moving average cross, a lot of momentum. Say you wait for the next candle, morning star. Then if you wanted to just confirm this on the 30-minute and you waited a little bit longer, this would be nice confirmation. You would put your stops below here, boom, and then your targets would be on the 1 hour, would just be your next 1 hour target, which would be, in this instance, I would fib from this level all the way to up here, and then you got your -27 up here. So I would target somewhere up there, and then obviously, we're moving towards those targets right now. So let's go over a question in the chat. Again, if you guys ever have any questions, just feel free to go into the chat, and I'm gonna actually post some questions into the chat right now based on this breakdown that we just did, and we can go over that. I know one person already put, what are the values of your red and blue moving averages? If you guys want to know my moving averages, they're literally up in the left-hand corner. Right here, we have MA 200, EMA 8, MA 18. All this means, these moving averages, is they are the average of the last 18 days, average of the last 8 days, average of the last 200 days. These are more short term, so I use these for momentum. 200-day is really a lot more significant. I look at the 200-day as sort of the last line of defense. So those are the moving averages. Do these tactics apply to even smaller time frames? Yeah, I mean, our top-down analysis, the way we do top-down analysis, definitely applies to the smaller time frames as well. Like I say with anything, though, is you need to test that you have an edge. And what I mean by that is, if you're going to, in our course and in all of our examples, like when we backtest 1 month, because we're essentially intraday trading and swing trading. Now, if you're going to apply this strategy to the 1 hour time frame, the lower time frames, you have to backtest 1 week, and you have to really focus in on those lower time frames. So it's just a little bit different, a little bit tweaking, but I say top-down analysis, essentially it's just allowing you to know exactly where you're at all times. So are you waiting for 6-1 and 50 Fibbo about retracement from there? I'm not personally waiting on any fibs or anything. I don't even put the fibs on that much, but what I will say is I do use fibs to maintain my orders, and the two main fibs that I use are 38.2 and 618. 38.2 and 618 are just you can see I have them highlighted here in like gold or yellow. They are pretty much just the two golden levels. I don't use RSI and MACD, only moving averages. So they are pretty much the two golden levels, 618 and 38.2. And by that, I mean, if the trend is respecting these levels, 618 and 38.2, it is a very healthy trend. It's a trending market if it's respecting those levels. So let's look at NU right now. And we also got USEF. Boom. So this is what I'm talking about, guys, with USEF. We've got 30-minute. Boom, right here. We're waiting for this to cross. Sorry for this question, but what does that ratio mean? What ratio? This risk reward ratio? Yeah, I'm not sure about that question. So this is what I'm talking about with, people use different MA, Y8, NAT, and EMA. Personally, when I first learned, the person that I learned with gave me the 8 and 18 EMA, and then again, those smaller moving averages are just for momentum, based on like the day, like the inside of the daily trend. So any moving averages that are below like 30 are really just for that daily trend, like within that, to identify. Now, why I use those is because pretty much when I first learned, I just started using them, and basically I just created my strategy around those because I always had them on the chart. I was never switching up the moving averages. I know people that use different ones, that are good, Yeah, Nick is okay. I think he's just sleeping right now, honestly. I'm trying to call him, but he's not answering. But yeah, Nick is fine. And reward ratio. Yeah, I mean the risk reward ratio is just what you're risking versus what you're rewarded. It's pretty simple, to be honest. It's like you risk one to get two. You know what I'm saying? Like in this case, we're risking the risk ratio is 2.49. We're risking 2.74. So we're doing 274 times 2.49. That's whatever the target is on this metric. So let's continue here. We got NU obviously going to the upside. Again, on NU, I am looking to just continue this 1 hour trend. So this 1 hour trend, very bullish at the moment. Let's go on to the actual 1 hour. So very bullish at the moment. Where is my next entry? We need a pullback. So right now we're breaking above this trend line. We are going to need some sort of pullback like this. Boom, pull back to this area, find that higher low, and then we'll go long. So we're going to wait on NU. I'm going to actually switch up NU to this lower time frame. Let's go to GU. This is a little trade that we gave out yesterday on the live session. This trade went really well. We talked about where are our entries on this last pair on NU. Where are our entries on this pair? It's the same thing. We're looking for areas in which the moving averages cross. So entry yesterday when literally on the live session. This was yesterday at 8 a.m. and these candles, this is the beginning of the candle. So this is actually 9. So we go down to the 30-minute. What were we entering on? We were entering on all this momentum that kicked in. Boom, all this momentum kicked in. We were focused on the 1 hour actually. So 1 hour made this high, pulled back, red over blue, made this huge bullish candle right here. And that's what we actually entered on in the live session yesterday. So now where are we? We're at a high. We're at a high right now. We can take off this. We can take off this. Boom. So this daily trend right now is bullish. If I were to fib this, boom, from my low to my high, we have 78.6, which was hit. And now we're just going parabolic. We're going very bullish right now, which is interesting. So this daily time frame is bullish. Where is my next opportunity? We're about to hit resistance right now. So I do expect there to be some sort of pullback. If I hop up to the weekly time frame, the weekly for me looks, let it load for like 1 second. The weekly time frame for me looks very similar to right here. We had this pullback, trying to make that lower high, fails, and then we go very bullish. I could see this coming all the way up into this area, all the way up into these highs. If I bring on this right here, I can see us going all the way up and retesting now these lower highs up here. So once that becomes a little bit more relevant, I'll bring that on. But as we get down to the daily, obviously daily time frame is bullish. 4 hour time frame is bullish ever since this. And let's, again, always just trying to clear things up whenever we can. So I'm going to take off all of these things. We don't need this fib on right now. And just on this 4 hour time frame, I can see that we were in a downtrend, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. And then all of a sudden, right here, we had a break. So we had a break right there. Boom. Now we're looking for, what are we looking for next? We need our first higher low. So we need some sort of pullback, our first higher low, all the way down on this 4 hour time frame. Where are we looking to get to? I think we're going to get a lot of rejection of this area. Or not, I think this is definitely a possibility that we could get rejection of this area. If not, what I'm looking for on the flip side is I'm looking for price to come up, retest these highs right here, and then pull back. And this is where our entry is going to be. So this is our analysis at the moment on GU. Again, we will not look for any short opportunities unless this breaks. If this breaks, then we will consider it a short. We will look for lower time frame trends. we'll try to get with the lower time frame, but we will not look for any short opportunities unless this breaks. So let's take another little break. If you guys have any questions on anything I just went over, just post it into the chat. And we are going to do a giveaway today. So if you guys want to enter in on the giveaway, it's the last live trading session of the week. All you got to do for the giveaway is you just have to post what your Discord name is. So let me see. You guys aren't in the Discord. I'm just going to drop an invite link. Boom, right here. So I should see, we got 52 people in here. You guys should all be trying to get in on the giveaway. It's for $25. And all you got to do is just post your Discord name in the chat. Obviously, we appreciate you guys coming on to the live session. And just do that. Let's continue now with UJ. UJ, I've been looking to short this pair for literally quite a while. This is the analysis that I had marked. Obviously, we're getting some momentum. We're getting some movement here now. Let's hop all the way up to this weekly time frame. And let's just focus right here. Let's focus in on this area. What channel should we post our name? Just post your name right here, Florian. Post your name right in this chat, literally right where you just typed. So we've got this weekly time frame on UJ is bearish in the sense that we're making lower lows and lower highs. Although on the weekly time frame, now we just double bottomed at this. We double bottomed at weekly support right here, which is major. So let's get down to the daily. Daily time frame overall is still bearish in the sense that we made this low, pulled back, made this lower high, pulled back, made this lower high. We recently retested that area. Now we're looking at something similar to this. And I will do this, I recommend you guys do this if you're unsure of what's going on in the market, is just highlight. This is an area previously that looks like this area right now. And then all you need to do is go down to a lower time frame and then start to look at that area. You can start on the 4 hour. Look at the 4 hour, what was going down here. Okay, the 4 hour broke this lower high, made this higher low, and then we went bullish. We went very bullish on this. So let's look at price now. Let's look at the 4 hour, what happened. We just broke this lower high. Now we just made this potential higher low, and we're actually breaking below this area right now. So, we have to be patient on this. I'm not going to look for any short opportunities until we get more confirmation that this is heading lower, because I'm just looking at previously. Look at this. We broke below the same exact thing. We broke below this level. The same thing's happening right now. We break below. And then we had a lot of bullish pressure come in and send this thing bullish. So I just need more confirmation on this as I go down to the 1 hour time frame. Boom, this 1 hour time frame. Ideally, I would want to wait for more of a break. So I'm actually just going to put this. I need this to establish a very clear downtrend. So another lower low, another lower high, and I'll look to get in on the next lower high on UJ. So we're going to be patient on UJ. I'm just going to sit on this and wait. Let's go over to DXY. For you guys that don't know what DXY is or why we look at DXY, DXY is the dollar index. So it is basically the value of the US dollar. This is a very important chart. I didn't look at this chart for the longest time when I first started trading, but now I pretty much look at it every single day. So you can understand the significance of looking at this chart. It's definitely major. So let's start all the way up on the monthly time frame. And let's go up here. So just give it a second to load. And I see all you guys posting your names in the chat. That's good. If you guys, haven't posted your name yet, definitely take advantage. It's a $25 giveaway. It's completely free to join. And it's just for you guys being on this session. So let's look at DXY on this monthly time frame. The way I see it on the monthly is we broke this level of support here. We pulled back. We're making a lower high right now. This thing could potentially dump. This thing could potentially fall pretty far. Look at these huge wicks at the top. You know what I'm saying? So we need to just start to cycle down time frames and see what's up. On this time frame, what do I need to break on this? I need to break out of this zone. This zone is a previous high or low that formed. This is what we really need to break out of right now. All the way on this daily time frame, what are we looking at? We are very bearish on this daily time frame. I'm going to remove this. We are bearish in the sense that we broke these lows. Boom, pulled back to 38.2. Nice rejection of that level. And now in this 1 hour time frame, we are bearish. 1 hour time frame, very clear bearish trend right now. If I just brought on a little trend line, as you can see, being respected very well. Lower low, crossed, lower high, lower low, crossed, lower high, boom. Now what are we doing? We're pulling back to potentially form our next lower high. So today might see some USD momentum, some bullish momentum. We could see a pullback up until this level. Boom, right here, before heading a bit lower. So that's why I was in this trade on USEF. I actually exited. I'm going to wait for a lower high. It correlates really well with DXY, as we can see. Look at DXY. The correlation is insane with these two pairs. They look very similar. So I expect this to pop up, all the way potentially up to this level. I'm going to adjust my fibs down here, all the way up to like 618. I expect this to come up, retest, and then inevitably fall. DXY is a positive correlation with currencies, which USD is the base currency, and negative correlation. Yeah, so, DXY is, again, just to reiterate, is just the strength of the US dollar. So as this goes up, any pairs with USD, it's going to go in the direction of USD. So as that goes up, USD CHF will go up. Just very simple. The correlation is pretty clear cut. It's the same thing with USD CAD, same thing as NZD USD, same thing with GU. USD JPY is a little bit different because both of these pairs are safe havens. So it's a little bit different. They don't correlate as closely. You see a little bearish channel. Yeah, I mean, DXY is definitely in a bearish trend, definitely trending really bearish. So now let's move on to the minor pairs. I'm going to go over GJ, EJ, and I'm going to do AUD, JPY as well. So let's start on GJ. Yesterday, we were doing the same thing as we were doing on these these other pairs. Is we were looking for potential higher lows. 1 second. 1 second. So let's start all the way up on this monthly time frame. Boom. So on the monthly time frame, what are we seeing with GJ? We are seeing a downtrend, red over blue. But let's focus in on this right here. We have this large wick, doji, this large wick candle. Then we have this doji right here. So all these are signs of reversal. And now we're getting this pullback. So as I come down to the weekly, weekly time frame, what do I see? Okay, we're overall bearish, yes. But if I just zone in on this area right here, again, I'm looking for something very similar to this. We had rejection of this level, then we went very bullish right here, rejection of this level. Now we could potentially go very bullish again. Same thing happened here, guys. Rejection, then went bullish. So this is like an ongoing theme in the current trend with GJ. I love to just look at previous price action and make decisions based on that. If I go down to the daily time frame is bullish in the sense that we broke this lower high, made this high. Now we just made a higher low. So every time frame below this is very bullish. So as I go to the 4 hour, boom, this is kind of where I was basing my structure on. Is this 4 hour time frame? 4 hour time frame broke lower high right here. And then this is that 1 hour. So the 1 hour, this is just a trending market. 1 hour broke structure right here, made this high, made this higher low, entry. Right here. Entry, Boom, pulled back, moving average cross, entry. Right there. Same thing right there, entry right there. And then I'm just sure why the other Forex League team member, Leonardo, never come up in the live session. Yeah, I mean, they're both like the idea is we're just gearing them up right now. They both contribute some analysis on this. To be honest, we already go over so many pairs. This is already an hour long. You know what I'm saying? So from a time perspective, it would just be a lot for them to come on. This session would literally go on for like 2 hours, maybe something in the future. You know, we can talk about that. But, you know, definitely appreciate the question. And, you know, they're both definitely working hard. How to identify false breakouts? Bump up time frames. If you think something's a false breakout on the 30-minute, go up to the 1 hour. Go up to the 1 hour time frame and look at that. So back on GJ, you know, next entry opportunity, not exactly the best because obviously we would have had to enter following this candle, but we had the cross. You know, if you wanted to bump down to the 30-minute, if you're really trying to get in on this, look how clean this is right there. Boom, break through the moving averages, and then that bullish engulfing candle, that would have been your entry. And as always, stops below the previous high or low, you know, targets at the new potential higher high. You know, targets we can bring on, that's when we can bring on our fibs for the targets. And I would just target negative 27, or if I have, you know, resistance levels or anything like that, we can, you know, target those resistance levels. So let's take this off. Let's talk about where is our potential next entry on GJ. I had drawn this yesterday. We're waiting for the break upwards and the pullback. So whenever we get this next pullback, that is when we are going to take our next potential entry. I do expect there to be some rejection off of this level. This is a previous high that had formed. So I do expect there to be some rejection off of that. And that is what we will wait on. So that is GJ. Boom. Let's go over now to EJ. EJ, we're in a little trade on. Obviously, things falling right now. So we got to take a look on the weekly time frame with EJ. I did some TP and GJ. Yeah, nice. Hell yeah. So let's start all the way up on the monthly time frame with EJ. Monthly time frame is just in a downtrend, is bearish. Then we had last month's candle close, a lot of exhaustion. Down to the weekly. Weekly time frame, we are bearish in the sense that we are forming lower lows and lower highs. Boom. Now we're last 3 candles, 3 bullish candles. So some bullish momentum definitely kicking into the market. As I come down to the daily time frame turned bullish, you know, obviously, and found support at this level. And then if we bump down to the 1 hour, the 1 hour is where we're looking at. And basically, if we look at most recently right here, EJ gets a little bit crazy. There's a lot of, I don't trade this as much. Nick really trades this pair. But what I'm trying to look at on EJ is just structure. So as I come to the 4 hour, looks like the 4 hour is a little bit better to look at structure. Here we had lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high formed with this cross right there. And then inevitably, what happened is we broke above, formed this higher low with this bullish engulfing candle. Then we made this new high, pulled back. Now we're potentially making this new higher low. So where is our targets on EJ? We can fib this on the 4 hour, on this 4 hour time frame. Essentially, our targets are going to be, again, use the Fibonacci or use these previous levels. So I can grab from here. This was a previous level of resistance. And then inevitably up at the top of this range is a level of resistance as well. So those would be 2 targets. So right now with EJ, we have, you know, obviously prices falling pretty aggressively. And this again correlates to with, if we go back to DXY, this correlates with DXY as well. When this thing kind of pulls back, EJ finds, like JPY finds some strength in this pair. So, you know, again, this is personally like a pair that Nick trades. I don't trade this pair as much, but basically what I would be doing on this pair is I would be maintaining this order until this breaks. This is structure right here on the 1 hour, on the 1 hour time frame. This might be retested. We got the 200-day right here, everything like that. We've recently found a lot of volume in that area, so we could see how it reacts in this area as well. So again, we will keep you updated in the premium analysis. For all you guys that want, like, I'm going to post, I went over UCAD, NU, USEF. I'm going to post all of those in the premium analysis. That is just this section right here. If you guys want to get involved in that, it's just $7 one-time fee. And these live sessions are meant for us to go over the higher time frames in analysis in the Discord. You know, we post every single week all of our higher time frame analysis. This was this week in the beginning, all higher time frame analysis. And then we update that for the members in this premium analysis section. So if you guys want to get started, it's just $7 one-time fee. So that's EJ at the moment. And then let's take a look at AJ. Boom. And I'll actually do really quickly like a little breakdown for you guys just on AJ. This is just going to be some top-down analysis going all the way from the monthly down to the lower time frame. You know, what do we see? So on the monthly, I have my key levels. I've got my monthly key level, my monthly key level down here, my weekly. Again, you know, what is this based on? I always go on the line chart for these. This is based on resistance. This is based on resistance. And we're going to actually have to cut the call a little bit short because Nick isn't hopping on. So I appreciate all you guys coming on to the live session. We actually have a little deal going on right now for you guys that are involved in the Discord and Telegram. $149 one-time fee for the premium signals. So if you guys are interested in this, normally it's a monthly fee. Right now it's just $149 one-time fee. There are only 7 spots available now. So if you guys are interested in this, just hit me up after this session. I'm going to get the giveaway going after this, and all you guys that entered, you know, obviously thank you so much. This is the last live trading session of the week. The next live trading session is going to be on Sunday for the Sunday Market Blitz, as always, and we will keep you guys updated in the chats. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, and you know, the Discord is the best place to do that. So again, hope you guys had a good week, and we'll pick this up back again on Sunday, and we will talk again soon. So peace out, everybody.